Welcome to the Hustle Wing podcast. Today we are joined by Benny Rubin, CEO and founder at Senders. Hi there, Benny. How are you doing?
Very well. How are you?
Well, thank you. For folks at home who might be wondering what Senders is all about, could you maybe give us a little bit of an origin story and what you guys are all about?
Sure. So Sender started in 2016, and we started as a cold email outbound agency, helping companies grow through cold email. And over the years, we shifted our focus to being mainly focused on email sending and delivery. In the cold email world, actually getting emails sent and delivered is a bit of a challenge because Google and Microsoft and other email service providers don't actually want you cold emailing from there. So we put all of our effort into making sure that we can help the companies that we serve scale up their cold emails, have them sendable, deliverable, and then dealing with any deliverability challenges that come through that process.
Hmm. So, what sort of goes behind building such a solution?
Sure. So the core of this kind of thing is you have to build a high reputation pool of IP addresses. And this high reputation pool is really important to maintain. And you have to make sure that all the people that are sending from your network also maintain the high level of standard that you've set. And so we spend a lot of time both onboarding clients and helping them understand what they're doing in this network and making sure that they're contributing positively, as well as maintaining the infrastructure, making sure the IPs are in good standing, making sure that all the domains that are sending from it are in good standing, and generally uh, working to keep the whole thing in
Yeah,
health.
yeah. In terms of privacy and data breaches and those kind of things,
Mm,
how have you guys sort of responded to those kind of concerns? I mean, there's been quite a lot of conversation around how obviously the emergence of different digital technologies has
mm.
almost made privacy a little bit of a very
Touchy
how would I put
subject.
this? Yeah. So how do you guys work around that?
So we don't worry too much about what um, in a certain sense, the core of our product is we're so back end, we're so deep in the weeds that the methods that folks use in order to build their cold email outbound mechanisms and the platforms and how they get their data and where they store their data doesn't really affect what we do. We have the assumption that all of our clients are acting lawfully, and we make sure that they're doing sending in a way that makes sense, and we highly vet all the people that we let send from our platform. But we don't uh, we assume that they're following most of the rules and laws that they should be. And if we find that they're not for some reason, then we unceremoniously boot them from our network.
Mm. I'm interested in the ultimate goal and vision for Senders.
That's a good question. I think that our team is very tactical and very practical. And we try not to focus hard on our own vision and where we're trying to build this. We try to keep our focus on what our clients are trying to achieve with their own emailing and making sure that we're doing everything we can to clear the path for them to do that. On a personal level, I'm really interested in vetted networks of very high quality professionals. So I spend a lot of time cultivating people that are working adjacent to what we're doing or could contribute to what we're doing and trying to get them plugged into helping the clients that we're also helping, if you think about that. So it's sort of like, and this is where the hustle wing community can come into play. If someone watching this says, hey, I'm really good at building data pipelines that are really clean and really have totally useful information, and I build custom scrapers and do all this cool stuff that will really help one of your clients do highly customized emails in a way better way, I'm totally interested in that. You can
Yeah,
reach
yeah,
out, and there might be clients that we already have that you could plug into and start helping immediately. Same thing with really sharp copywriters, for example. If you have
Mm,
a really good sense of what kinds of emails are working and landing inside your own org or other orgs you've worked with, you might be readily helpful to someone that's in our network. And that doesn't
yeah,
have to be in a way necessarily where we make money from you. It can be just simply introducing you into some of our clients for helping them. And because we're sort of in this weird intersection on where we're deeply involved in their growth mechanism, but we're not dictating or directing their growth, it puts us in a really unique position to bring in all sorts of people to help clients. So if we're seeing someone is trying to get help with something later in their sales funnel, has nothing to do with us, but we want to be readily helpful, and we want to know if they're vetted professionals that really understand that particular mechanism or have a deep understanding of that industry that we could introduce in or plug into our clients.
Yeah.
I bet that answers one of your later questions too, right?
Yeah. Well, we are about to segue into that.
We already did it. We segued before you knew it.
I'm sure that you guys, sort of deal with unique challenges with a specific product like this.
Sure.
What kind of unique challenges, would those look like? And sort of then maybe thinking around some of the talents and some of the opportunities
Sure.
that you've mentioned.
So there's sort of it's really on a very nuts and bolts level, it's sort of an IT function if you think about it. Usually IP address management, email server management is something that's handled by in-house by an IT team. But what we're finding more and more is that in-house IT people don't really want to manage cold emailing on behalf of their teams because it requires so much maintenance and management of the infrastructure that they actually would rather outsource it to a team like ours that's all we care about. So that is one mechanism we see. If you're an in-house IT person and you're struggling with this thing, we could be a good partner for you to engage to try to help your sales team do this kind of function without doing damage to your internal structures. The other side of this is if you are very skilled at this kind of work inside the company you're currently working at, and you think you could be a contributing force to what we're doing, we are always interested in email deliverability experts, email deliverability expertise of any type, not to mention all the things later in the pipeline, like we talked about, sales expertise, copywriting expertise, data pipeline expertise, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is very helpful to us, and we frequently engage with freelancers on hourly basis or otherwise in order to help solve specific client challenges or potentially help with our core functionality that we provide.
Yeah. How has the platform been received so far? What's the traction like?
Traction's good. One of the ways that you keep this kind of infrastructure in really good standing is by charging a significant amount of money to clients to join in and to work with us. So I would say there's probably 100 more companies that would want to work with us than actually can afford to or want or actually do make the leap to working with us. So I think that there's a lot of demand, and I understand that, but I also don't want to degrade the quality of the network by lowering prices significantly and letting a whole bunch of riffraff in. So we're trying to walk that fine line of growing it out in a way that's very sensible while also keeping the quality very, very high and not doing anything to jeopardize it. So receipt is good. When people hear about us, they're really happy and they want to work with us. And keeping the quality high is pretty high priority for us.
So what can we expect in the future from you guys?
What can you expect? Man, that's a tricky question.
Or
Hopefully more of the
changes
same.
or I suppose.
Hopefully more of the same. I think more of the same. I think we're in 2024 and beyond, we're trying to double down on making sure that this is the best, healthiest place to do this kind of emailing from, and working with as many clients that are legitimate senders and have legitimate business outbound processes to help them grow and succeed.
Cool. For folks who would want to reach out and sort of plug in, where can they find senders online?
Our web address is senders.co, and I'm Benny. You can email me directly if you want, benny@senders.co, or you can find me on LinkedIn. These days, I've been posting a bit more about the nitty-gritty back-end stuff that has to do with email deliverability and sendability.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you so much, Benny, for your time.
Thank you.